How are you?
I'm pretty fine. How about you?
Good, good, good. Always. Okay, I'm so excited to have class today
Me
because
too.
I want to teach you some techniques
Oh,
today.
okay.
Okay, before we answer a full test,
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you a very short lecture. Anyway, we have 1 hour and 30 minutes today,
Yeah, right.
so we'll make use of the time properly.
Okay.
Okay, I hope you don't mind if I do some talking today,
Okay.
and then later you can do some answering. Okay?
Okay.
How are you? I didn't ask you if how are you. How are you these days?
I was pretty tired
Uh
until
huh.
yesterday, but I
Okay.
got 2 days off. Yesterday and tomorrow.
Wow,
Today.
amazing
Yesterday and tomorrow.
today.
Yeah. And I
Wow,
took
amazing.
a lot of rest yesterday, so I feel much better now.
Wow, amazing. That's good. That's how you should rest, at
Yeah.
least. Okay. So let's start. Hold on. Let me upload something. Later maybe I can send it to you. This is a good book I have been reading recently about IELTS, so
Mm-hmm.
I want to share it to you. Wait, I'm gonna try to find it.
Okay.
uh, I don't know. Maybe this one. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. It's very slow. Kindly wait for it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. This one is really good. So these are strategies that I would really want us to focus. We will not study everything because it's 70 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just pick the most important ones.
Okay.
Okay, give me a second, please. Oh my. Where is it? Okay. Uh, you know that already. Grading, you know this already. Yeah, there. Okay. Let's see. Let's just have a general view. So part one, general questions, 45 minutes, 2 to 4 sentences. Remember, I told you before,
Mm-hmm.
make your sentences as short as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then all right, so longer answers are needed for higher scores, 3 to 4 minutes for part two.
Mm-hmm.
And part three, discussion based on part two, takes
Mm-hmm.
asking a series of questions related to topic. So that's the format, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
basic format. Now, the grading, I didn't know if I don't know if I showed you the scoring. I will not use this, but I'll give you a different lecture about scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the tips first.
Okay.
Uh, okay, hold on. There, this. Now let's go to the tips. Let's do it one by one. Preparing for your IELTS tests. The tips here are very important, and I really like it because it's true.
Mm.
Um, Understanding how the speaking test is graded, I will show you how the scores are made
Mm-hmm.
later on, but not now.
Okay.
Common questions, we are doing that. We are answering common questions as much as we can. Remember, we are doing that every weekdays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every topic about clothes, shopping, internet, food, anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's number two. Learning ways of structuring your answers extended. Okay, later I will show you that.
Okay.
Learning to paraphrase. What do we mean by paraphrase? Meaning we have to make our answers short but simple.
Mhm.
Now, pronunciation, the L and R sounds, we need to practice that. Okay, and improving spoken grammar by correcting frequent errors. That's why I always try to correct you when you commit the same mistake.
Mhm.
Alright, so those are common ways on how to do it. Now, uh, these are bad example of a speaking test. You're not like this, I think. So, do you like to watch movies and then just answer one word yes? What sort? Drama? Do you have particular favorite movie? No. Do you have a favorite actor? No. So
Mm.
those are, bad ways on how to answer a speaking test just by answering one words, which is totally wrong.
Mhm.
Okay. This one. Now, techniques. The first technique is divide in two or three parts. Example, this is the main question.
Mhm.
What kind of food do you like? So, um, the best way to answer some questions is to divide it in two or three parts. So, three kinds of food that I'm really keen on: Italian, Korean, and Mexican. All right, so
Mhm.
try to divide in three parts. So the
Okay.
example is, well, there are three kinds of food that I'm really keen on. The one
Mhm.
I like best is Italian. I also like Korean food. It's very healthy. And so see if you look at it, the PR technique,
Mm.
point and reason. So Italian, why? Because I'm a big fan of pasta. Korean, why? Because it's healthy.
Mm.
Mexican, because it's hot and spicy. So point and reason technique.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
PR technique.
Okay.
Okay, if you can make some examples, that would be great. That is
Okay.
what we call as PRE technique. Did I
PRE.
teach you this before?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so sorry.
Oh no.
Maybe I missed it. So the technique is point, reason, example. That's one good way of answering or approach for some IELTS
Ah,
questions.
okay.
So what is your point meaning? What is your opinion? What is your main answer?
Mm.
So main answer. Okay, and now the reason must answer the question why. An example, of course, is example. So
Mhm.
if they ask me this question, yeah, what kind of food do you like? Oh, I really love Korean food. First, because it's healthy and
Mhm.
it's spicy. For example, I love kimchi. In every meal, I must have kimchi.
Mm.
Another one is American food
Mhm.
because the portions are big, and I love meat.
Mhm.
For example, I love fried chicken. I think it's the best American food ever.
Mm.
Yeah. And lastly, I really love Filipino food. First, because I'm Filipino,
Mhm.
and also I love the flavors. An example of which is adobo, something
Mm.
like that. PRE.
Okay.
That's a very good approach. And divide your answers. Because if you divide your answers, it's organized.
Mhm.
Alright. So don't take it all in one whole sentence, which is
Mhm.
really more risky because you will have what? You will have like more chances of committing mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, one of the most important tips that I gave you, slow down.
Mm.
Don't
Alright.
talk fast. Okay, second
Okay.
technique. The first one is divide your answers. The second one is general to specific.
Mhm.
So what is the question again? What kind of food do you like? So
Um.
the strategy involves general reasoning and then specific.
Mm.
So for example, general thing is seafood,
Mhm.
okay, and then specific Japanese seafood.
Mhm.
Example. So there you go. This is similar with PRE technique,
Mhm.
but this is not reason, but this is both point and then example.
Mm.
Okay, but it's from big to small. Seafood. What kind of seafood? Japanese. An example. Alright. Well,
Mm.
I have to say I'm a big fan of seafood in particular. So, in particular,
Mm. In particular.
for instance, instead of
Mm.
saying for example, you say for
For
instance.
instance. Okay.
Yeah. Alright.
For
So,
instance.
in particular,
Particular. Mm.
there are many techniques in answering IELTS questions. Three more strategies. No, never mind. So you have to slow down, all right? So speak at the variable speed. Your grade for fluency requires you to speak at a good speed. So this is, I think, we need to focus on this, GA,
Mhm.
because you're sometimes speaking very fast.
Mm.
Okay. You do not need to speak quickly. All
Okay.
right. So, slow down. When will you slow down? So you will slow down when you find it difficult to pronounce or unsure
Mhm.
of what you will say. You want to emphasize something
Mhm.
and you're using a high level of language, meaning a vocabulary that may be a very deep one.
Mhm.
So you need to slow down
Mhm.
so that they can hear it clearly, or
Mm.
you're using your local vocabulary. Like, for example, my favorite food is bulgogi.
Mhm.
So there I'm slowing down because
Mm.
I'm talking to a foreigner. I'm not talking to
Mm.
a Korean, so I need to slow down.
Mm.
Okay, it's for the examiner to notice it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. What else? Yeah. When will you speed up? When you're comfortable with the topic that you're saying, or you're giving less important about the information.
Okay.
But still, I prefer slowing down.
Mm.
Okay. Redundant language. Oh, well, actually, research shows that native speakers use a lot of redundant language, or what we call as fillers.
Ah, right.
Yeah, oh, well, actually, but not too much.
Mm.
Okay, just use them,
Okay.
but not too much. Like I
Okay.
have one student who always say kinda, woulda, well, that is not good though.
Mm.
Something like that. What is something like that? I don't know. So sometimes some students try to do that as a filler, which is not good.
Mhm.
I love to buy some, that one, something like that.
Mm.
So I don't know what is something like that. Okay,
Mm.
let's stop there for now. Let's try to. Oh, hold on. Let me see if there is something important. No, no, that's okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay, there you go. Parts of part one. So, first topic will be work or study, place you're living in, place you're from. So that's the generic questions. The other two topics are usually like hobbies, holiday sports, or any kind of topic. All
Mhm.
right. So usually three topics in one part. Mm, okay. Yeah. There. That's very easy. I will send you this book. Now I
Okay.
want you to read it. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe on Monday I will send it to you.
Okay.
Or later. Why Monday? I'll send it later.
Okay.
Okay, so those are just tips. So, especially page number 13, 14, and 15 in this book. So, 13, 14, 15, I will send it to you. It's
Okay.
very important tips. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's start with one exam today.
Okay.
Let me open it. Uh, okay, let's do this practice test. Okay, you don't have a copy of this. Don't worry. It's only a practice test.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So imagine we're done with the first part of the test, like your workplace, a country, and those kind of things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's answer. How large or small is your family? Kindly describe it to me, please.
I think it is not that big compared to the past. I think
Mm-hmm.
it is just normal in these days. I have
Okay.
parents and and one older sister, so my family is consists of 4 members.
Okay. All right. And what do you do together as a family? What kind of activities do you do together as a family?
Actually, all of my family members are workers, so we don't have time. We cannot spend much time together. So I
Uh-huh.
think in the weekends we just have meal together. I think that is just common activity of my family.
Uh-huh. Okay. And who are you closest to in your family?
I think it is my older sister because we both are women, so we have a lot of things we can share, and we just have 1 year age gap. So
Okay.
yeah, we have a lot of common interest, so we can share a lot of things.
Mm, all right. Uh, okay. What I will do is try to complete part one and then give you a feedback
Mm-hmm.
per part
Okay.
before you forget your sentences. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now let's see. Is your family a typical one? Do you consider your family as a typical Korean family?
Yes, I think because um, everything related to my family is just normal, like family members and the mm, economic status.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it is just
Okay.
normal.
All right. And are there many different types of family in your country? Can you talk about it? Like, or, can you give me an example of some of different family types in your country?
Mm, I don't believe we have different type of family. We just have. I think every type is similar.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, almost all are similar. Okay. All right. Actually, you can mention there. Oh yeah, most of the families here in Korea are almost similar. Some are living with their relatives though, but
Mm,
some are just living on their own. You can
mm,
just say that.
mm,
Mm, okay. Uh, okay. Let me show you your sentences.
okay.
Okay. Let's see. This is your first sentence. I think when I asked you the question, like, how large or small is your family? You said, I think it is small compared to the past. But I will assume that you have a family in the past, if this is your
Mm,
sentence. So the better way to say this is I think it's relatively small,
mm,
or I think it's small compared to the families in the past.
mm,
Okay, be very specific because if you just say, I think it is small compared to the past, meaning you have two families maybe?
mm,
Your family in the past is big, maybe,
mm,
and then you were adopted to a new family, and then
mm,
your new family is just small.
Mm.
Okay, so if I say the families in the past, meaning especially it means I'm
Mm.
talking to the families of South Korea maybe in
Mm.
the past.
Mm.
So I'm trying to be specific here, in
Mm.
order to avoid confusion with the examiner. Because if the examiner is confused, then he will start asking more and more questions.
Mm.
And you don't want that to happen.
Mm.
Okay?
Right.
So be careful with your sentences.
Okay.
You have to be very specific to
Okay.
avoid problems.
Okay.
All right, let's do another one. Mm, Another sentence is like, uh, my family is consist of four members.
Mm.
I know this is just a basic grammar slip. So my family consists of four
Mm.
members.
Mm.
So subject verb agreement is consist.
Mhm.
So just remove is. All right, and just consists.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. If you will use is, then you make sure that your verb must have an ing.
Um. Ah.
My family is consisting of four members. That's okay. Or you can just say my family consists.
Okay.
Almost all of my family are workers. This sounds strange. It doesn't, grammatically speaking, it is acceptable, but
Mm.
we want to sound as natural or as near as a native speaker.
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
So we must say almost all, or not almost, but
Mm.
most of us in the family are working.
Mm.
Most of us in the family are working. That's it.
Mm.
Because until now you're working. Okay. And
Mm.
yeah, what else? Everything related to my family is just normal, like the income and everything. This is okay.
Mhm.
Related, but there's a missing preposition. Everything related to my family,
Mm.
or you can just see every detail in our family is just normal.
Mm.
That's okay.
Mm.
All right, pretty cool. Let's see. Questions before we continue.
Mhm.
Okay. None? No questions?
Mhm.
None?
Uh,
Okay.
for me
Yes. Do
about
you
the
have?
yeah, yeah.
All
I'm
right.
fine.
Okay. All right. So let's do part two then.
Okay.
Mm. Just let me know. Are you recording this? If you want to
Yes, I'm
cut,
recording this.
yeah. So if you want to cut it
Mhm.
and then record it again, just let me
Yes.
know. Okay?
I want to cut it.
Okay. All right. Just cut it. How is that? Do you have to cut it and then start it again?
Um. I'm searching that button, so please wait.